Hospital post-game report here, now joined by Wildcat head coach Scotty Fletcher. I'll give him a chance to review his stat sheet there. Wildcats drop a tough one, 56-55 at the end of the first quarter. As I mentioned earlier, Gulf Coast led 16-10. Wildcats trail at halftime 27-22. Wildcats take the lead 41-40 in the fourth quarter in a back-and-forth game, and in the end, it came down to free throws, and Goolsby knocked down 2 for them. Wildcats got one on their trip. They were down by 1. Wildcats did get the shot away, but it was late. It went in. It would not, it would have won the ball game. It did not count. It was just about a second late. And Pearl River drops a very tough one here to the Gulf Coast. We're joined now by head coach Scotty Fletcher. Scotty, I can only say one thing. That's a tough ball game. Two teams that got after each other very hard, and it's tough to lose a game like that. But my goodness, what an effort by your team, particularly the effort of Shania Wright and Pooh Lindsay in this ball game.
Yeah, you hate to come up, obviously you feel great if you're on the right end of that, you know what I mean, and you feel terrible for your players and your institution and your administration and just everybody, that pours their heart into this. There's so many people, man, I mean, that go into, making this thing be successful. And, obviously, there's so many plays, that come down. Obviously, the girl made those 2 free throws late. You got to give her some credit. We didn't make any shots early, and, I thought that kind of bothered us a little bit. We're used to getting at least 1 3 from Aaliyah, and she goes 0 for 4, and I'm not throwing her on the bus. We're just kind of used to getting that, contribution, and Jakia, she only makes 1 as well. And those sophomores, man, they've got to make shots, and Pooh missed those 2 free throws, and Mia's got to go right there, to that line, and she's got to make those free throws the same way the other kid did. And like I said, I'm not throwing them on the bus, but it always goes down to, you know what I mean? Did we get enough stops? Sure. We just didn't make enough shots tonight. And look, we go 9 for 16, so that's 56. We make 100 free throws a day, Kerry.
Yeah.
And in that moment, man, it's just mental toughness, and that's when they go up to the line, I constantly tell them, hey, I believe in you. You got it. Settle down. You make 100 every day. And here's the other thing, too. I'm not dare question officiating, but, Turner, maybe we tell her to back it out, but right there she drives in there and they call a charge, but I feel like that's the same call down there with
right.
Mia. So,
yep.
That's a block right there, or a charge on us, and then it's a block on us too. And that's 2 bam-bam plays where we practice taking charges every day. And I just thought, man, we didn't execute the scout report to the full extent. And you say, well, what was the scout report? Well, early on, we're out there chasing shooters versus really packing the paint in.
Yeah.
And they continued to get the ball inside. And we looked up, I think they had 27 or 28 at half.
Yep.
And they only made 1 3 the first half. 1 3.
Yep.
I think they made 3 for the ball game. So we just, we get out there and chase a little bit and versus packing it in. And I just thought our bigs were not as focused as they should have been to the scout report early on. And I'm going to tell you, I know I told you this early, when we beat East Mississippi here, those first 3 possessions in the half-court trap, we got turnover. Well, at the end, we end up winning by 4. Everybody looks at the end. It can be those possessions early
right.
on, Kerry, that,
good point.
You know what I'm saying, that people don't see at the end. They just see the final score. And then we draw up a play right there, and obviously, I didn't, you think obviously it was late, obviously, huh?
Yeah, it was late. It was definitely late.
And we tell Pooh she's got to shoot it right there or drive it. And she catches it and freezes. And, like I said, we in that moment, and it don't come down to that play, we just have to execute better. And we didn't shoot it great from the 3. I mean, 6 for 29, 21%. We're a 3-point. I thought Olivia Mosley was really good tonight. Shania Wright got banged up. She came back and fought out here. But you got to protect home court, and unfortunately we came up on the short end of the stick tonight. We wanted to speed them up. I did think our pressure at times, we got a 10-second call. We did some really good things defensively.
Couple turnovers
off the track. No doubt. And, man, we just didn't make quite enough shots. But, and here's the thing. The girls that's been making their shots for us, they got to make them tonight. You know what I mean? And Gulf Coast is a talented team. There's a reason why they've only lost 1 ball game. Do I think we're talented? Yes. The only difference about us against Gulf Coast, Kerry, is we don't have the same margin of error as they do because of their paint presence, their post presence. They get so many points inside. We just don't have as much room for error and margin for error as they do.
I want to go back and talk about the play of Libby tonight. I got her 7 points, 5 boards. I had Shania 11 points all in the second half, 4 boards, 4 blocks in the game. I mean, probably, you can look at that and you talk about their post presence with Scotty. She didn't back down one iota tonight. You got to tip your hat to Shania Wright. And also Pooh Lindsay, 19 points. Those two kept us in the ballgame, particularly in the second half. I mean, Pooh with 11 points in the second half, Wright with 11 points. They scored 22 of our points there in that second half, those two sophomores from Clinton.
Yeah, great players. Obviously, we're going to miss them. The growth that they've made. And we've got such great girls. And this is one of those games, man, you want it for your players more than anything. And you want it for your institution and your administration. And, like right there walking through the stands, we're going to win with class. And we obviously are, going to lose with class. And the goal is never to lose. But I was very proud of our girls and their class that they have, still shaking hands. And that's what I told them, in defeat, you still. And Dr. Brewerwood, very encouraging right then, and, I couldn't ask for, a better group of people to work for and work with each and every day. I just hate it, but tonight, man, and I'm not putting the blame, but when you're used to getting that contribution from Aaliyah and Jakia,
it hurt.
It does. I mean, that's just that. Here's the thing. You've seen us, all right, so far we won 9 games. They played well and every game. So
I thought both teams played good defense. Both teams stayed that zone. You did well. They played kind of a 2-3 matchup. I call it a kind of a matchup where they play man to man. But give credit to them, as you said, good post presence. But again, I thought Wright and Mosley challenged them well in there. Got to regroup, Coach. Got to go to Meridian. Not going to be an easy
Southwest.
run. I'm sorry, Southwest Thursday. Got to go to Southwest Thursday. Not going to be an easy run there. South Division, everybody's good. There's no easy run in this league.
These next 2 are very critical. So right now you sit at 2-3 through your first 5. You can sit here and say you should be 3-2 or 4-1 with that game at Gulf Coast. But unfortunately, we came up on the short end of the stick tonight. We're going to regroup. We're not going to beat our girls up. We're going to be very positive. But however, we've got to learn and understand how tough it is, and it boils down to a fine line, and it's not the shot there at the end. It's the defense here, making key free throws.
Don't come in here.
Making key free throws here and there. Well, I tell you what, we got to have campus security up here, don't we?
Yeah, they all want to ride here, get in with Scotty Fletcher on his birthday.
Well, and I'll say this, man, I'm very blessed. The text and support I've got from our people here on campus, and baseball, football, softball, our girls, just the things that they did today, decorating the office. I mean, they did a phenomenal job. So, unfortunately, we weren't able to pull it out tonight. But like I said, as their leader, I'm not going to drop my head. That way, I don't expect them to drop their head.
Well, that's not in your DNA.
No, it's not.
Come back fighting next time.
Oh, no doubt.
Get ready to go Southwest Thursday.
And it's going to be tough. I mean, they haven't lost at home, and they're obviously at Jones tonight. I don't know what they did there, but there's like I said, and even Meridian watching film. I mean, Meridian, Gulf Coast only beat Meridian by 3. You know what I mean? And Meridian looked really feisty on film. Looked like honestly a complete DNA identical matchup of who we are.
Right.
And I can't give Coach Avalon and his guys enough credit. The band tonight, I thought the atmosphere was electric.
It was.
And right then, like I said, if that's a bam call on both ends. I just thought those 2 calls were very critical. But they don't come down to that. They 24 made some shots for them, obviously. I thought Alana Turner was good, gave us good minutes.
Yep.
So we're going to get better. I can promise you that. I obviously want to wish our boys, it's going to be a great game, 2 undefeated teams right here. So obviously be jealous that you get a chance to call this, but hopefully our guys, I know they're going to play well, and Oni's got a great game plan. So electric atmosphere. Just feel a little bad for the listeners and the people that support us. That I thought our girls were definitely ready to play. I thought we were a little tense and tight that first quarter. Mm-hmm. And, man, that's 2 games in a row. The Hines got, other than Coastal, we had a good start. But, man, those teams sit in that zone, and early on, if we make or miss shots, it kind of, affects us a little bit. So we got to be a little bit better at that. Yeah. So, but we're going to get there.
Coach, I'll see you later tonight. Happy birthday. I know it would have been a lot nicer if we'd had the winning end of this one, but we appreciate you. Love all the things you do for the Wildcats here.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
We look forward to the game Thursday over at Summit against those Bears.
Thank you for all you do, buddy. Praise the Lord. Go Cats, man. I love you. I mean it. Love you.